Hey guys, Tony Milo here with Let's Talk Sports. Today we're going to be predicting every NFC team's record this season. NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles, 10-6. Last season we saw Carson Wentz carrying an injury-riddled Eagles team to the playoffs. I think if Wentz stays healthy this season, we should see the same result with a healthy receiving core. The addition of rookie receiver Jalen Reagor should also help the Eagles improve from their receiver issues last season. I could see the Eagles finishing with a 10-6 record and a second consecutive NFC East title this season. Dallas Cowboys, 9-7. The Cowboys will put up a fight all season with the Eagles for the NFC East. And I do think they have a strong roster with potential to win the division, but I do think they will fall short. Sure, they might have the top 3 receiving core, but a new coach without OTAs or preseason will hinder this Dallas team. I do think it'll be a battle for the NFC East title, but I do think they'll fall short, finishing 9-7 this season. New York Giants, 4-12. The Giants are still in a rebuilding phase. Even though they have superstar running back Saquon Barkley, that's just not enough to win them games. They don't have the team to win games in the NFL. But they'll be in the race for Trevor Lawrence this season as the Giants are still rebuilding. I could see them winning anywhere between 3 and 7 games, but I'll put them at 4 games this season. The Washington football team, 3-13. I think the only interesting thing about the Washington football team this season will be the new name that they're going to choose at some point this year. The Washington football team's roster just isn't good at all. Sure, they added a stud rookie in Chase Young, and their defense looked to be better this season, but I don't think that's enough to win them any games this year. They just don't have firepower on offense, and I think this Washington team will be trailing in most of their games. They're going to be one of those teams fighting for Trevor Lawrence in this year's draft. I can see the Washington football team finishing with the same 3-13 record as last year. NFC North. Green Bay Packers, 11-5. Green Bay enjoyed a lot of success last season with first-year coach Matt LaFleur. After a great 13-3 regular season, they made a run to the NFC Championship game. Unfortunately, they fell short of the 49ers. After a bad draft and a quiet offseason, I think the Packers will regress a little bit this season. But I do think they will still win the division. It seems that the Packers are planning to yet again go run heavy, so expect Aaron Jones to have yet another good season. Now the Packers can win anywhere from 8 to 12 games this season, but I see them winning 11 games. Minnesota Vikings, 10-6. The Vikings have made the playoffs 3 times over the last 5 years, but they haven't won the division since 2015, and I just don't see that happening again this year. The Vikings have a very talented roster and should be able to compete with the best. With that being said, Kirk Cousins tends to play worse against winning teams, so I just don't see the Vikings outplaying the Packers this season. But I do think they will fight for the division and keep the Packers in check throughout the season. I see the Vikings winning anywhere between 7 and 12 games, but I think they'll finish with just 10 wins this season. Chicago Bears, 6-10. The Bears' elite defense took some steps back last season, and it's not their fault the team's quarterback play has been far from good. Mitch Trubisky has been average at best since entering the league. If the Bears had an elite quarterback, they could be a legit Super Bowl contender. However, that's just not the case. I don't think Nick Foles is going to solve anything, and I see the Bears finishing with yet another losing record this season. I just don't have trust in their quarterback play this season. Their defense will keep them in games, but I just don't see Foles or Trubisky leading this team to any better than last season. Expect the Bears to be between 4 and 9 wins this season, with my prediction being 6 wins for the season. Detroit Lions, 5-11. The Lions were hindered by Matthew Stafford's injury last season, but I still can't see them doing much better this season. Sure, the return of Stafford will keep them in games, but I don't see the Lions finishing anywhere but last in this division. They just don't have the firepower to win a lot of games. I see the Lions fighting for some games this season, but inevitably only winning 5 games this year. NFC South. New Orleans Saints, 12-4. The Saints are my clear favorite in this division. Sure, the Buccaneers added future Hall of Famer Tom Brady, the GOAT, but I don't think that'll change too much. I see the Saints still winning this division for the 4th year in a row. I don't know whether or not that'll turn into playoff success, but I do know that they will be in the playoffs. With the addition of Manuel Sanders, the Saints finally have a number 2 receiver. And hopefully, this will help them prevent some heartbreak this year in the playoffs. I see the Saints finishing anywhere between 10 and 13 wins, but I do think they'll finish with 12 wins this season. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10-6. The Buccaneers made flashes this offseason by signing future Hall of Famer and arguably the GOAT, Tom Brady. But as much as Brady makes the Buccaneers a playoff contender, I just don't see more than that from the Buccaneers. Brady will enjoy a great season this year as he will have Evans, Godwin, Gronk, and O.J. Howard as his big 4 targets. Also, the Buccaneers drafted Brady, one of the best offensive linemen in this year's draft. Expect an improvement from the Buccaneers this season, and expect a chance at the playoffs. They'll finish between 7 and 11 wins this year, but my prediction is 10-6 for the Buccaneers. Atlanta Falcons, 7-9. The Falcons made key additions in Todd Gurley and Dante Fowler this offseason, but I still don't see Atlanta winning this division, or even getting second. I think the Falcons will have a good year, but I just don't see the Falcons getting into the playoffs this season. Unless Todd Gurley regains his old form, I can see Atlanta with a winning record if that happens. But if Gurley fails to reach his old form, I just don't see an improvement from last year. Matt Ryan lost big tight end Austin Hooper, and he was replaced by a decent tight end in Hayden Hurst, but I just don't think that's good enough. I can see the Falcons finishing between 5 and 9 wins this season, but my prediction is 7-9. Carolina Panthers, 6-10. Now the Panthers are not a bad team. I think if they were in a different division, they could be fighting for the top spot. However, I just don't see the Panthers finishing with too great of a record this season. Since their Super Bowl season, they've been average with only 1 playoff appearance and 2 last place finishes. So, the Panthers have struggled to regain their 2015 form. But I do think Teddy Bridgewater can help the Panthers win some games. Teddy Bridgewater proved he can still win games last season for the Saints, after going 5-0 while Drew Brees was hurt. If he ends up playing at that high a level of a performance this season, I can see the Panthers winning up to 9 games. But if he struggles, I can see them winning as little as 4 games. So, my prediction is 6-10 for the Panthers this season. NFC West. San Francisco 49ers, 12-4. Now, this is the best division of football. The 49ers, who just came off a Super Bowl loss, should not miss a step this season. Their elite defense will help them win games as well as their high-powered run game. I see them making the playoffs yet again this season and pushing for yet another Super Bowl appearance. They are just that good. Their defense is great and their offense is strong, and I think the 49ers will win between 9 and 13 games, but I think they'll finish 12-4 this season. Seattle Seahawks, 11-5. The Seahawks just got Jamal Adams in a trade with the Jets. Now, I'm not saying Jamal Adams suddenly makes this falling off Seattle defense the best, but I do see massive improvement this season on the defensive side. Now, of course, when you have Russell Wilson at quarterback, you're going to compete. They have finished with a winning record in each of the last 8 seasons, and don't expect any worse from the Seahawks this season. I expect Seattle to even have a chance to make a run at the Super Bowl, and I see the Seahawks winning between 9 and 13 games this season, my prediction being 11-5. Los Angeles Rams, 8-8. The Rams cut ties with some key players this offseason. Star running back Todd Gurley was released. However, that wasn't all. They also lost Brandon Cooks, Corey Littleton, and Dante Fowler this offseason. Now having Aaron Donald will always help you compete in every game. But with that being said, the Rams will have to fight for a playoff spot. I think the Rams can win anywhere from 6 to 10 games this season. But my prediction is that they'll win 8 games. Arizona Cardinals, 8-8. The Cardinals added superstar wideout DeAndre Hopkins via trade this offseason. The Cardinals will enjoy some success this season, with sophomore quarterback Kyler Murray expected to be even better this year, as well as a full season of Kenyon Drake. I think the Cardinals will be able to compete in games this season and improve from their 5-10-1 record from last year. I see the Cardinals competing for a playoff spot and winning between 5 and 10 games, but my prediction is the Cardinals will finish 8-8 this season. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to leave your comments down below on what you think I got right or wrong.